Story time. Hey folks, I've been away for a couple of days, didn't post videos on Saturday or Sunday. I was at the Crown King Scramble 50-kilometer race from Lake Pleasant to the tiny little mining town of Crown King. Wonderful, wonderful race. The course was challenging. The first 15 miles are rolling with a gradual gain in elevation, up and down, up and down, up and down on really smooth, maintained dirt roads. And my goal coming into the race was to run without ever looking at my watch, at least until the aid station, to sort of check my pace and just sort of run on feel, run on effort. And as fate would have it, I went out a little bit too quickly apparently, because I hit the first 8.5 mile checkpoint, which is still a gradual elevation gain, in 1 hour 17 minutes, which is right at 9-minute pace. And 9-minute pace for the whole 50K would be pretty challenging for me at this stage, so I consciously backed off a bit for the next section, which was a 7-mile segment up to the halfway point. That particular segment I covered in an average pace of 11:15, but that still put me at the halfway point in 10-minute pace on the nose. And I realized that, okay, just sort of do the best you can, and try not to fade too much, and hike when you have to, run when you can. And the course became very technical just after the halfway point starts going up, 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 up. Contrary to the literature, it's not a steady 15-mile climb. Basically, it's 15 miles with a little over 4,000 feet of elevation gain, with some ups and downs. And with my broken hand, hey, broken hand, I was very, very cautious, actually a little bit afraid on the downhills, because they were very rocky and a little bit technical, and I could just sort of see myself breaking my hand even worse than it's broken already. So I would gain places on the uphills and lose places on the downhills, actually several places each time it seemed. So up and down, up and down, up and down. Well, I kept looking at my watch, the altimeter on my watch, and realized that we have to eventually get up to 6,500 feet. Every time I looked, I was way below 4,000 feet, or right at 4,000 feet, and the race is getting well into the later miles, and I'm finally realizing that, oh my gosh, this is going to be a sting in the tail of this race. That's either going to be really good or really bad for me. I'm not sure. Most of the elevation gain is in the section up to the final aid station and a little bit beyond. The final aid station was where Chris Thornley, the Squirrels Nut Butter CEO, was waiting and taking photographs. It was great to see Chris up there, and that particular climb I enjoyed, getting up to I believe it was the 29-mile mark, and from there, no, 28-mile mark, excuse me. From there, you have another mile of climb, and then you have a rapid 2-mile descent on butter smooth dirt roads. That was really nice, being able to sort of shake out the legs a little bit and finish strongly into the town of Crown King. So survived it. The final 15-mile pace was around 16:23, I think, which is an average pace. There were some faster miles and some slower miles. I was pleased with that final steep mile up to the high point of the race. That one is between 600 and 700 feet of gain, and I did that one in right at 18 minutes, or a little bit under 18 minutes, hiking the whole way. Didn't even try to run that section, so that was a good, strong hike for me there. Anyway, some memorable things about the race. It was great to see Scout Phillips at the halfway point. He gave me a high five and filled my water bottle for me. I took a gel and I was on my way. I literally did only 4 gels the entire race. I was fine. I was I made sure to watch my nutrition in the days leading up to the race, and was well hydrated, so didn't need any extra nutrition on board. And I carried everything in my pockets in my shorts, so that was really cool. There were 6 pockets, plenty of storage room, and never was low on energy. Only carried 1 handheld soft flask bottle, which I refilled at every aid station. and barely finished it between each aid station. So I hydrated well during the race. Did have one little scary situation. It's happened to me before, so I didn't worry too much about it. But the first time I actually had to pee was not until right before the 22-mile aid station, and I peed bright red blood. That scared me a little bit because I felt great and I was drinking well. So I sort of chalk that up to maybe the up and down nature of the course and being a little bit dehydrated, obviously, or that would have happened. But didn't worry about it. Made it to the next aid station fine, and up to the top fine, down to the finish fine. Never low on energy once again. Not super sore after the race. I had prepared my quads for a lot of downhill running, so that was not an issue, and would have liked to have had more chances to get up in the higher elevation and some steeper climbs, but did what I could and made sure that I came into the race as healthy as possible, considering the shoulder injury and the broken hand. So all in all, I'm pleased. Also got to spend a lot of time with Scout after the race, so that was nice to sort of catch up on things and find out more about each other. Turns out we have a lot of connections, running connections and geographical connections. I lived in Oregon for 3 years. Well, Scout went to Oregon State University in Corvallis, so there was a connection. Also, I lived in Austin for many years, and Scout lived in Lampasas and in Austin, so we had that connection as well. We both love to run, obviously. He loves Arizona. I love Arizona. He's coming out to Colorado with Aravaipa this summer for the series of races, the Silverton 1000, the Kendall Mountain Run, of course, Hard Rock, and then after that's the Alpine Loop Marathon and 50K. So I'll get to see a lot of Scout and Aravaipa. Guys, I have to say some really nice things about Aravaipa, and this is totally unsolicited. I'm not sponsored by them, but I love their races. The courses are extremely well marked. The aid stations are extremely well stocked. The volunteers are incredible. The support along the course is incredible. The post-race festivities are fantastic. There was a live band, plenty of food, even vegan options. So I had a vegan lunch, which was really cool. I'm vegetarian. I'm not vegan, but I eat vegan most of the time, to be honest with you. So that was nice to have that option at the finish line. And the drop bags were waiting for me, so I got my finish line drop bag, put on some warm clothes, hung around and talked with several runners I'd met along the course and met some new ones after the race. Took the shuttle down from Crown King and met some other runners that I didn't know. Some I saw during the race, some I did not. So friendships abound at these ultra marathons. I love the ultra running community, and so many stories to share and so many commonalities. It's just a great vibe all around. So I highly recommend the Crown King 50 kilometer. Yes, it will kick you in the arsenal, but it is a fantastic run. Looky there. And it's been happening since 1987. Ann Trayson actually still has the women's record for the Crown King Scramble 50K. Come up to Crown King next year. I definitely will come back to this particular race. I'll do some more history videos in the days to come, but I wanted to give you a race update. Guys, I didn't fall at all. I never fell during the whole 50 kilometers. I did stumble once and had to catch myself with, my bad hand right on my thumb, and thought I damaged it further, but I didn't do any further damage, I don't think. It can't get much worse. So, yeah, it's still crooked, kind of ugly, still discolored, but, yeah, we'll take care of that as time allows. Cheers, and see you on the flip side.